and welcome to another of Mrs. Patnell's maths lessons. This is lesson 3 this week, and we have been looking at adding. We'll be adding up to 3 at a time, usually onto single-digit numbers, but some of you have been stretching yourself over this week and adding them onto 2-digit numbers as well. Now, as usual with our lessons, I always start off with a starter session where we go over things we've done before, usually our counting. We'll look at number writing a little bit today as well, and some other bits and pieces before we go into our adding. We're also going to talk about the language of more and fewer today as well, so that might be something a little new for you as well. Okay, so behind me I have my trusty 100 square. If you have yours at home, it might be quite handy to have it out now, or at least one on maybe a device next to you so you can see it quite clearly. Mine might not be as clear to you as it could be, so it's a good idea to have yours with you, okay? So, yesterday we started a new thing where we started to count in 5s, and we did it to a special little tune as well. We'll do that again today because the more we repeat it, the more it will stay in your head. But we'll start first of all by counting to 50, like we did yesterday, and we'll start that now. So if you've got your 100 square ready, that's fabulous. If not, you can use mine on the screen. We're going to go high on the multiples of 5, remember, so high with our voices, but not with the volume of our voices, and lower with low voice for the multiples of 10, the ones that end in a 0. This will help us remember the numbers that we're going to use when we count in 5s after this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. We'll stop at 50. We are halfway along our 100 square. I think I might have forgotten to go high on one of these multiples of 5, so hopefully you remembered for me. Okay, so we're going to use our 100 square again to count in 5s. Remember, we are adding on 5 each time, but it will be tricky to sort of be counting 5 jumps and then saying the next number. It will take us a long time. So the good idea, like I said yesterday, is to get your 100 square and colour in all the ones we're going to use when we're counting in 5s. So all the ones that end in 5s and all the ones that end in 0s, okay? We're only going up to 50, but by all means colour them all the way to 100, the ones that you will need. And then we're going to do it to our little tune, okay? Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well done. We're going to do it one more time because it's always good to hear me first and then have a go afterwards, okay? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Well done, that's counting in 5s. I hope that it's getting a little easier today, and we'll keep working on that over the course of the next few weeks. Okay, next up on my list that I would like us to do would be where I'm going to say a particular number on the 100 square, and I would like you at home to call out the next 4 numbers. Now, we did this earlier on in the week. As before, if you feel you don't want the 100 square to help you, then close your eyes so you can't see my 100 square on the screen. You can only hear the number I'm calling out to start your counting with. Or if you've got your one at home, hide that away as well if you don't want that to help you, all right? But if you do need your 100 square to help you, that's absolutely fine. I don't want you to struggle, and maths is always good to use the different things that you have around you to help you out. So I'm going to say a number between 1 and 20, and I want you to call out the next 4 numbers. So we're counting on. So we're not always starting from 1 to count. Sometimes I'll pick a number here and you'll count on from that. So we're getting used to counting on from all sorts of different numbers, not always from 1. This will help you with your adding, because sometimes we've got 7 and we're adding some more and we want to count on 8, 9, 10, rather than having to count all of that 7 first of all again when we know there's 7 there. So this will help you with your adding, which is fantastic because it's what we're doing this week. So I'm going to say, close your eyes now if you don't want the 100 square to help you. I'm going to say, can you count on from the number 3? The number 3. Can you count on the next 4 numbers? So say 3. Okay, and now I'm going to go through it with you. So you should have said 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then stop there. That's counting on from 3. Okay, close your eyes again if you don't want the help of my 100 square. I'm going to say, can you count on from the number 11? So close your eyes if you're not wanting to cheat. Oh, not cheats if you don't want to use the 100 square. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Fantastic if you got that right. Can you count on from the number 7? 7, 8, 9, 10. Well done. Let's do one more. Can you count on from the number 16? So you should have said 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Well done if you did. Now you can pause this video now if you found that quite easy, particularly if you had your eyes closed and you were still counting on fabulously. Then you can pause this video and have a go where an adult in the room suggests numbers a little higher. So maybe try the 20s or even the 30s, okay? So challenge yourself to go a little higher with counting on. That will mean you can start adding using bigger numbers and not find it tricky at all. Okay, now, if you're back with me again and you've challenged yourself with that, I'm going to suggest now that if you have a whiteboard, fantastic, have it with you with a pen. But if you don't, then a piece of paper will be absolutely fine. Now I'm going to sit down for this, so I'm just going to tilt my camera, so bear with me a moment. Okay, so so with your whiteboard or your paper in your hand, I'm going to call out a number. We'll start with numbers between 1 and 10 first of all, and then you just write that number on your board and then you show it to the adult in the room and they can check if you got it right. I will then show you how to write it too, so if there's no one there with you at the moment, you can check if you've got it right by yourself. Okay, so first of all, and if you don't want your 100 square to help you, then pop it to one side if you've got one at home with you, okay? Or you might need it handy just to check exactly which way round the numbers go. That is fine. So I'm going to ask you first of all to write on your board the number 3. Can you write the number 3 on your board, please? Have a little think, make sure you're getting it around the right way. And now I'm going to write the number 3 with you. We start at the top, we curl round again. We've got the number 3. If you wrote that on your board, pat yourself on the back. Fantastic. Okay, the next one that I need you to write is the number 6. Can you have a go at writing the number 6 on your paper or your whiteboard? Have a little think. Sometimes in my class we get 6 and 9 a little round the wrong way, so think about where you start that 6 and how you're going to form it. Okay, number 6, I would start at the top and I would come down and round and tuck in there for the number 6. So if you wrote this on your board, the number 6, well done. Now on your board, can you write the number 9? Can you write 9 now? Now sometimes 9 can be written with a curl at the bottom, sometimes it can have a straight line. I don't mind which one you choose to write, okay, but can you write a number 9 on your board now? Okay, and a number 9, I would start at the top, go round and down for a number 9, okay? Sometimes a number 9 can be curly, but they're kind of trickier to write, to be honest. So I think probably the one with the straight line is the best one for you guys to be writing for number 9. Okay, one last one. Can you write on your board the number 12? I'm going to go a bit higher now and stretch you. The number 12 on your board. Have a think. If you need your 100 square and you've got it there with you, then bring it over and have a look. But otherwise, number 12 on your board. Okay, and the number 12 is 1 at the front, so make sure the number 1 happens first at the front of the queue, followed by a number 2, and together with 1 at the front and 2 behind it, we have got the number 12. Okay. Now, if you found that quite easy, then by all means pause the video and ask the adult in the room to ask you some bigger numbers, okay? Maybe try your 20s, even your 30s. So your adults can fire numbers at you and you can write them on the board and they can let you know if you got them right or not. Right, so I'm going to move on now to having a go at looking at more and fewer, okay? So I've got myself some purple counters in one pot, and I have got myself some different coloured rubber transport. When I say transport, I mean things that get you from one place to the other where you don't have to walk. So I've got buses, and I've got boats, and I've got lorries, and all sorts of things in here. So my coloured transport and my purple counters. Right, I'm going to have a little tidy up here and move my bits and pieces out of the way. So I am going to show you 2 piles, one of purple counters and one of coloured transport, and I want you to look at those piles and we're going to talk about the language of more and fewer. So I'm just going to tilt my camera so you can see the table a little more. Okay, so I am going to put on this side, let's go further back, we've got my purple counters here. There are my purple counters. And on this side, I'm going to put my coloured transport. There we go. And there we are. Right, so you can clearly see that I've got my purple counters here on this side and my coloured transport. It all happens to be green at the moment, okay? So these are clearly on this side and these are on this side. So what I want to talk to you about now is about the language of more and fewer. Now you might already be familiar with more and fewer, probably more, a little more than fewer. More means there's a greater number, a bigger number of things if there are more of something, okay? Fewer means the opposite. Fewer means there are less things, a smaller number of items, okay? So fewer means a smaller number, less items, okay? So there's another word, less, that maybe you're not so familiar with, but it means the same as fewer, okay? Smaller number of items, not as many is fewer, okay? And this side, where there is 4 purple counters, there is more, okay? Now with this one, you probably wouldn't even have to count them to see which one had more, okay? But if you're not quite sure, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 purple counters and 1, 2 coloured transport. So we can see that if there's 4 here and 2 here, we've got to think, which is the biggest number, 4 or 2? Well, 4 is bigger than 2, isn't it? So we know that this side, the purple counter side, has more items, more counters, okay, than on this side with the coloured transport, because there's only 2 on that side, okay? So there's more purple counters and there are fewer coloured transport, okay? Right then, let's try that again. So on this side, I'm going to remove some of those. And this side, I'm going to put that, let's not confuse with colours. Okay, so you can see on my table here, this side is my counters, and this side is my transport. Which ones are there more of? Are there more purple counters, or are there more coloured transport? What is there more of? Purple counters or coloured transport? There is more purple counters, because we can see there is 1, 2, 3 purple counters and only 1 item of coloured transport. So there is more purple counters here. So we could say another sentence now. We could say there are fewer coloured transports than there are purple counters. Okay, fewer, because there's a smaller number of coloured transport items over there. Okay, so let's try that one more time with some more. I'm going to put these here, and I'm going to put these here. Okay, so have a look at the table now. Think how many purple counters there are. Think how many items of coloured transport there are. Okay, I'm going to ask you, which side has fewer items on it? Is it the purple counters or is it the coloured transport? Which side has fewer? Or you could say less if you prefer that word. So which side has less items? Which side has fewer items? It means the same thing. Which has the smallest number of items? Is it the purple counters or is it the coloured transport? So your answer is the side that has the fewer items is the coloured transport. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4 coloured transports, but purple counters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that side. So we can clearly see, if we want to do another sentence, that there are more items on the purple counter side and fewer items on the coloured transport side. Okay, right, so that's a little introduction to more and fewer. I hope to go on to talk about it a little more as we go on over the next few weeks. Okay, so more is a greater number, a larger number of items, and fewer, or sometimes less, means a smaller number of items. Okay, so it might be a case that someone offers you 2 handfuls of sweets, and you could try this at home just to check how you're doing with your more and fewer. So 2 handfuls of sweets maybe, one hand's got 3 in and one hand's got 7 in, and your parents might say, which handful do you want? And it's probably likely you're going to choose the one with 7 in because it has more sweets. Okay, so have a go at doing different things like that at home. Have 2 piles of things and ask which one has more and which one has fewer. Okay, let's move on from there. So I would like to just go over our adding, because we haven't spoken about too much about that this lesson, and I want to do a quick sort of revisit of what we did on lesson 1 with our coins in our pot. Now I kind of really talked you through that during that lesson, but I'd like to do some quick ones now where I have my tin, I put in my amount, and we quickly write the adding sentence for what I'm going to add to it and what the answer will be. Okay, now it's always handy to have either your 100 square handy, or if you've got a number line at home, this could help you, or you can use the method where you post one number in your head and count on your fingers. Okay, so in my pot here, listen carefully for the sound of the pennies plopping to tell how many are in the tin. So how many coins did you hear being put into the tin? The answer was 7. So you can already start writing your adding sentence. It can sometimes be easier if you start from the very beginning rather than waiting until you've got more numbers to think about. So 7 is what we've started with. That's what I've put into the tin, 7 coins. Now I'm going to put more in. So I am adding to the tin. And for our adding, we do the line up with the line across for our symbol. So 7, add, let's see how many I'm going to add. Are you listening? I am adding 2 more coins. So I started with 7, I added 2 more coins. Then I want my equal sign, or sometimes you can call it the same as sign. So it's like 2 lines, one on top of the other. Now this is where I'm going to put my answer on this side now. So I had 7 coins, I added 2 more. I want to know how many I've got all together now in my tin. 7 add 2. What can it be? So I'm going to show you again the method of posting one number in your head and counting on using your fingers, okay? So our first number that went into our tin was 7. In goes 7 in my head. I am adding on 2 more, so I'm going to put up 2 fingers to add to represent the 2 coins I just put in the tin afterwards, and I'm going to count on. So 7 is in my head because 7 is the amount of coins I started with. So 7, 8, 9. So 7 add 2 more gives me 9 all together. So I can write that on my board, and luckily enough we practiced the number 9 at the beginning of the lesson, so we go round and straight down. So I can say that what we just did in that tin was 7 coins, add 2 more coins equals 9 coins all together in my tin, okay? And we didn't have to count from 1 to work it out. We counted on from 7, which it makes adding much more speedier. Okay, let's do one more, but you don't have to stop doing it when this video is finished. By all means, have a go doing a few more at home. So you've got more examples, more practice at home, okay? So have a listen to how many coins are going in. How many coins did you hear plopping into the tin? The answer was 5. 5 coins. So I'm going to start writing my adding sentence already. 5, and of course I'm going to add some more coins. I'm going to get a bigger number of coins because I'm going to add more to my 5 coins. So I need to do my line straight up and my line across for my adding symbol. And how many am I going to add to the tin now? Have a listen. I've already got 5, now I'm adding 3 more. Did you hear the 3 coins pop into the tin? So I had 5 coins to start off with, then I stopped and added 3 more. Now I want to know what that answer is, what it equals. So I'm going to find out by using my popping the number into my head way of doing it. You can use your 100 square, find 5 and count on 3 jumps, but I'm going to post 5 in my head because that's the number of coins we started with in the tin. 5 in my head, and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 more on because that's how many I added to the tin afterwards. So 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 coins in the tin all together. 8 coins in the tin all together. So I know that 5 coins, add 3 more coins, all together makes 8 coins. Fantastic. Okay, so I would suggest that at home, maybe you try a few more. You can get adults to think of them for you. You can go a little higher if you want to and use slightly bigger numbers at the start, like I said yesterday, but maybe only stick with adding up to 3 onto those bigger numbers. You could possibly do 7, add 3. You could maybe do 12 coins, add 2 coins. How many will you have all together? Or maybe you could go even further and try 17 coins, add 3 coins. How many would you have all together? So really push yourself if you can. Those bigger numbers are a bit tricky, then stay with the single digit numbers. That's absolutely fine. But have a go at doing a few more and writing out your adding sentence. And if you're in my class, post it to Tapestry. That would be fantastic. So I can see all the lovely adding work that you are doing. Right, I think that probably I've covered most of what I want to cover with you today. Now, if you're in my class, tomorrow I won't set a video. I'm going to send home some sheets to work through just to check how that adding that we've been doing this week has gone. And if you can work out the answers to the questions that I set on a sheet for you, just to use the work you've practiced with on camera to see if you can do it yourself at home on a sheet that I'll do for you. Everybody else, you can have a day off if you're not in my class, or I'm sure you've been set some lovely work from your teachers as well. So I will see you next week when we are going to be talking about subtraction or taking away. It's the same thing. So subtraction, taking away. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.